What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I see there's some people that's dusty in the chat that's complaining saying Anton is always late. That's okay. I'm not late. Just like my dog in the chat said, I'm always on time. No, but for real though, on the low though, I really did get a new ticket this morning. I did. You know what's so interesting about this? You know what's so interesting about tickets? Is the one time where I don't believe that I was doing anything wrong is a time that I get pulled over and actually get a ticket. Now, I could have possibly not got this ticket today, but I was a little bit unruly. I have to bring myself to the front of the congregation because they were slowing me down. All right, so let me give you a little bit of a backstory, and then we're going to deep dive into the show. So the backstory is on Monday nights, I like to sleep in. So what I like to do is kind of prepare myself a little bit before the Monday night show for what I'm going to be dealing with on Tuesday. And then on top of that, after that, when I wake up in the morning, I do the majority of my work at home, and then I come into the studio already prepared. So the way that my studio is set up is everything is synced, everything is in the cloud, all of it is based off of systems, and it's a way that I've allowed myself to be just as efficient, if not more efficient, than when I was in corporate America. I took all of my business dealings and all of the things that I learned in corporate America, and I basically implemented here on the Millionaire Morning Show. So I got three computers here, one computer out in the suburbs, a computer in my downtown apartment. And anytime I'm working on anything, I don't need to take anything with me. I only keep my laptop, my tablet, my Apple, what the heck is the name of the tablet? The iPad Pro inside of my book bag unless I'm going out of town. And I can kind of move and shake however I want to, and whatever I do at home, I just close the computer, I jump in the car, come down here, and everything is automatically synced. So when I'm preparing for the Millionaire Morning Show, for example, this morning, I did everything at home, and then basically you just come into the studio, you open up your laptop, you do like 2 minutes worth of setup, and everything is all good to go. So I try to sleep in, I try to chill a little bit more after Monday night show because it's usually the show that go the latest. And then, like I said, I prepared everything. I'm on my way into the studio. I jump into the truck, and you know how you in that left turning lane? So, you in the left turning lane in order to turn to get onto the freeway. So I jump in the left turning lane. I get on to go on the freeway, and I immediately see the sheriff making a U-way to come and pull me over. And so the thing that I'm thinking to myself, usually, back in the day when you're a little dirty, you riding a little dirtier, your license may a little be sketchy, you don't know if your paperwork went through, you're a little bit apprehensive. That's not me today. That's not me today. Nowadays, 99% of the time, I'm usually like, oh, what's going on, officer? Ah, no big deal. Roll your window down, put your hands on the steering wheel, whatever. And 99% of the time, I never, ever, ever get a ticket. Today, I got a Millionaire Morning Show to do. We up against time, baby. We up against time, baby. So he go around and, I see the yellow light. I'm going through the yellow light. I'm not stopping. You just gonna have to come and get me, big dog. So, he came and got me. But then he immediately come up to the truck. So he jumps out, and it's not even the Detroit police. Detroit police, I know all of them, they cool. It's a Wayne County sheriff. It's a sheriff. So he jumps out the car and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm not in the mood today. I'm not in the mood to be a nice guy today, which I'm not going to be disrespectful. We always got to make sure that we maintain frame. But I'm not about to explain myself. I said, "I'm sorry. What's wrong with you?" I already had my license, registration, and insurance. I just gave it to him. Here you go. I cut him off right then and there. "Hey man, let me get my ticket, bro." I'm gonna see if I can pull the dash cam footage and the body cam footage, and I'll use it as content. So it might wind up being a blessing anyway. "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I'm sorry. Hey man, let me get my ticket, bro. I don't want to talk. Just let me get my ticket." I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with you. I got something to do. I'm gonna get this to my lawyer. He gonna knock that junk out. I ain't about to sit here and negotiate with you. Hey man, give me my ticket. I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth. And in the city, they're used to people, oh man, going back and forth with them, arguing, ain't got their paperwork right and all of that. Listen, if I'm super nice, I'm just super nice. But otherwise, give me my ticket, man. I'm gone. Work and they look, what? Hey man, give me my ticket. Do your job. Go back to his car, write me a ticket. He wrote me for disregarding a red light. It ain't even for the thing that he turned around to come and get me for. He wrote me for disregarding a red light. I don't care nothing about that, bro. Life is good. Life is awesome. I'm not tripping about it. Listen, you're not about to sit here and give me a whole soliloquy about what I did wrong and all of that. I'm not trying to get out of the ticket. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to get this to my lawyer. He going to handle this junk. I'm going to pull the body cam footage. Hopefully I can pull the body cam footage. We're going to review it together. We're going to make a $4,000 off of the video, and we're going to keep it moving. It's nothing to talk about. I'm clean as a whistle. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tripping about it. We on a public street. We right in front of the police precinct, right before you get onto the service drive to go onto the freeway. Hey man, give me my ticket, bro. I'm not about to talk to you. And I think that honestly, I got to be careful with that. I got to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I'm careful with that, simply because that kind of bothers. I notice that bothers people. It's the same way when you come on the internet and you start showing your bank account and stuff like that. It's the same thing when it comes to police officers, because it's not something that they can hold over your head. They can't say that your license is not good. They can't say you ain't got insurance. Can't say you ain't got registration. My cars is all brand new. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different mindset a lot of times when you're moving clean. And the point of all of this, I know this is crazy, and we're going to get into the show. The point of all of what I'm saying is, when you clean, when you doing things the right way, as far as having all of your paperwork together, when your money is straight, when you're moving confident, you don't have to play by the same rules that everybody else play by. Ain't that crazy? When you got your whole life together, not halfway, not minimal, when you ain't got to worry about whether or not the ticket, you ain't got to worry about your license, you taking care of business, your car straight, your money straight, everything is straight. You don't play, I'm just being honest with you. You don't play by the same rules that everybody else play by. I'm not worried about getting drug out the car. I'm not worried about going to jail. When you got lawyers, when you got all of that stuff, the same rules don't apply. That's just the honest to God truth. It should be encouragement to people. This is not me bragging. I know y'all want to take it out of context. This is not me bragging. This should be encouragement to people. The encouragement, the lesson in it is get all the way straight. Get all the way right. You got your life insurance, like all the way right. Everything straight, everything right. We not gonna sit, we don't negotiate. When you got everything right, you don't negotiate. When your whole life is together, when you got good jobs, when you got options and you go on a job interview, you move with a different disposition. When you don't need the job, but you're going because a recruiter called you and said, hey, would you be interested in checking something out? Hey, just come over here for me. When you go into the interview, and y'all need to go and look at that Interview Like a King video that we got inside of the Patreon. When you go inside of the interview, you move different. You got a different level of confidence. It turns out to be you interviewing them versus them interviewing you, and they can feel the difference in the energy. When you're not desperate for a woman and you're not willing to do anything for box and you straight and your life is good, women come to you. You don't have to go and chase them. You then move with a different air, a different level of confidence. When you meet a pretty woman, you're not tripping off of her and it's, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm glad to meet you. And you could walk away and you ain't tripping. She gonna ask her homegirl, who is that? Oh, that's Anton. Oh, okay. And then they're gonna be hitting you up. Hey, can you come to my party? They're gonna DM you. I promise you, honest to God. When you move with a different level of confidence, when your life is all the way right, when you can wear a white shirt, when you clean without spot, wrinkle, or blemish, you don't play by the same rules as the culture. The culture is toxic. The culture is over there sitting trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this is how you need to, I got to raise my sons to be worried about the police. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because every single person that wound up getting hemmed up by the police was doing something that they wasn't supposed to do when the police came up to them in the first place. And it doesn't make it right that the police did something to them. But what I'm saying is when you moving with a different level of confidence, meaning that you taking care of business and you don't have to worry about the same things that everybody else worried about. When your girl don't have to worry about the same things that everybody else is worried about, it's a different level of loving that you get at home. It's a different level of submission that you get at home. Even if you go through something, even if something happened in your life, she don't worry. She just be like, oh, boy, you crazy. I ain't worried about that. You can handle it. I'm telling you. I am telling you. It is different. And if you don't want to feel that way, then keep staying in the same spaces doing the same things that you was doing yesterday. If you want to get into a space where you just move with the utmost level of confidence. If anything happens, I got some family stuff that's going on right now, for example. I'm not going to talk about it to be specific, but I got a couple different family issues as far as things that people in my family are going through. When they call you and say, hey, oh man, this is my situation. You don't force them to start, explaining the situation to you. You don't want them to feel bad about what it is that they're going through. Hey, hold on, just give me a number. What do you need? You sure? Yeah. What's the number that you need? All right, cool. You got it. I had Rita take care of it. Hey, what's happening over there? Oh my, you know what? Don't worry about it, y'all. Everybody be cool. I want y'all to make sure that y'all deal with this accordingly. I don't want you grieving over here. I don't want you dealing with this situation the same way that everybody else. Don't worry about the money aspect of it. Worry about taking care of your family. We got it. We'll send that over there. It's a different movement. It's a different level of confidence when you don't have to deal with the same things that everybody else deal. When you're not burdened with the same things that everybody else is burdened with. I don't care nothing about this. I'm going to use, you can't think about monetizing and making content off of getting a ticket by pulling the body cam footage if you so busy trying to get out of jail. That's all I'm saying. So just make sure that y'all do everything, get all the way right, take care of your business, and then you ain't got to deal with the same things that everybody else deal with. All right? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. And check out that Interview Like a King video. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me give a little bit of a shout out and some love to the people over here on Cash App first. Shout out to Kathy Gibbons. Shout out to Kathy. Says, I love listening to your show. And I love you being here, and I love you holding me down, Kathy. Thank you, my love. Mike, that dude is in the building, says, what up, though? And then Spencer Campbell says, good morning, AD. Good morning, Spencer. I appreciate everybody on Cash App. Also, on top of that, I want to acknowledge some of the super chats Bishop Cam Nelson says, blessings, free Jacqueline Carr concert coming soon in Akron. I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to find out what's going on. You ain't use that Mr. Robinson voice? Nah, Chris, nah. LaFleur says, good morning, Anton and the Bag Chasers. Anton really be advocating for Tiege. I might have to get a box. You should. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I use it every single day. It's dope. Glad you didn't hit him with the don't you know who I am? No, I ain't on that type of stuff. It ain't about ego. It's about getting to the office so I can do my show. Give me my ticket, bro. Latrell M is in the building. I appreciate you, Latrell. What in the world TV is in the building says, pause. Question AD. If one of your workers sends you flowers on Valentine's Day, should I fire bro or just bring it up to him? I feel offended. What? If one of your workers sends you flowers on Valentine's Day, should I fire bro or just bring it up to him? I feel offended. Okay, so what in the world TV? I'm assuming that, first of all, you a guy. I'm assuming that you're a guy. So you're feeling offended because a guy is a guy like you. You can't fire a dude because he shot a shot. You can't fire him, big dog. He shot a shot. He shot a shot at you. Man, don't feel offended. Stop. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your emotions. If they're a good employee, tell them to, hey, I'm not on that type of time. Just have a real talk with them. Listen, y'all got to start humanizing these situations instead of doing everything by the book or getting offended. Just have a conversation. Hey, listen, fam, I ain't on that type of time, bro. That junk was funny, though, man. That is funny, but nah, I'm cool, bro. Listen, man, let's get back to work. Let's focus. Let's not focus on workplace romances. We don't play in the mud. Just chill. Make a joke out of it and keep it moving. Don't get offended by everything. Everything is not to get offended by. Shout out to Tapping In from Team Earthy, encouraging everyone to drink plenty of water, eat clean, get quality rest, exercise daily, and protect your peace. Yeah, I like that. Shout out to Tia Marie. Showcase Classics in the building says, good morning, Anton. In the chat, have a productive day, everyone. Shout out to my dog, Showcase Classics. I appreciate you. All right, y'all ready to get into the show? I got a full show lined up for you guys. We got to go into Joy Reid crying, Rachel Maddow getting offended, and she defending Joy Reid. We got to get into AOC. Lots of liberals today. We got to get into AOC, Eric Adams, The View, Elon's ultimatum, and more. If you have not already, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel. And again, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. All right? Y'all ready to get started with the show? Let's get it popping. So we all know that Joy Reid lost her job. All right? We all know that Joy Reid lost her job. But for whatever reason, the blackity black, the racist, the pro-black, the justice warriors, the speaking truth to power-ish people, all of them like to rally behind each other, even though they wasn't really rocking with each other prior to her getting fired. But they all like to rally behind each other and start to advocate, hey, John Lemon, we're going to have a Joy Reid watch party. I will tell you this, MSNBC absolutely capitalized off of it. They got every ounce that they could back from her in this last stream because basically all they did was promote MSNBC and get Joy Reid's numbers up so that MSNBC can try to recoup some of the monies that they lost from continuing to have her on the network. But neither here nor there. Joy Reid, ladies and gentlemen, decided that she wanted to go on a Zoom call with all of her justice warriors to highlight what she believed, how she felt, and how she was going to move going forward. Absolutely positive. Joy Reid didn't get this much visibility when she was actually on MSNBC. Funny how that changes when you get fired. All of a sudden, you're valued as an employee. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into her Zoom call that was open to a lot of people. And I appreciate the people for recording it so that we can then review it and see exactly what her sentiment is. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let's rock.
And someone who called me from as she was taxiing on the plane to say that she was flying back from California, and it was just overwhelming to receive that call. Khalil, all of those who have been on the phones with me, and Angie Rye, who has been uh, essentially babysitting me and taking care of me, and Tiffany Cross has been doing the same. My husband is on this call, who's also been doing the same. Mignon Moore, who, my counselor, who's been so great, so kind to just always give me advice. Obviously, Joteka, you are just everything, everything, everything. Holly, who I've been bugging and harassing, who's been making all the technical. I can't even name everyone. Everyone, you all know that you are valuable, you are wonderful, and I hope I haven't missed anyone. It's just my heart is so full. I'm trying to call. I can't even begin. As you can imagine, I have been through every emotion um, over the past several days. Tasha knows, she's been on the calls with me for some of them. Angela surely knows. Carrie Jammy's been on with me. Alicia Guards. I've just been talking to we call ourselves our machetes. I've been talking to so many people, but I've been through every emotion from.
Why do women give themselves names? Like, why do they like? We're the girls that can, the women who do, we're the machetes. We cut through all of the BS. Why do women give themselves names when they group up? We're the bad girls club. We're the girls who fight for justice and truth to power. And are you listening to some of these people that she's naming? Tiffany Cross got fired from MSNBC too. Angela Rye, all they gonna do is start a new podcast. That's all they're gonna do. Listen, we don't need a big announcement to start a new podcast. Hey guys, I'm gonna be going off on my own, and I'm gonna be speaking truth to power, and we're gonna be follow me on my next steps. Because no new network is gonna pick you up. You just gonna have to get it out the mud. Get your computer up. Go get you a new camera, A7 or A6100. Get you some editors. Get you some lights. Get your background nice, and go and start you a podcast like everybody else. And we gonna see whether or not you can really hang, and if you can rock out with the big dogs. That's really what it comes down to. We're gonna speak truth to power. It's why we going through all of this? You podcast, TikTok, YouTube, get to it. Let's see if you can rock.
Anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude, just pure gratitude. And and gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this, or to take care of me, but also that my show had value, and that
Says who? Says who? Listen. How do you evaluate whether or not you actually have value? How do you determine whether or not your show was a bomb, whether it was great stuff, if it added value into people's lives or whatever like that? How do you do that? Do you do it by the numbers? Do you do it by the money that you make? Do you do it by the cultural relevancy? Do you do it by how many people are in your ear? Do you do it by how many critics that you have? How do you determine whether or not your show had value? Just a question while we go through this.
I'm sorry, that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And
I'm
I
gonna
said
read that
this
super
kind of
chat
like on
shortly,
TV, so I
Michelle.
apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank
Is that
you.
her husband?
Where I land is that
Is that her husband? I heard she married.
the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, that or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Um, or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's...
Her parents not even from here. Think about that for a minute. While we speaking truth to power, like they like to say, her parents not even from here. And don't get me wrong, I actually like migrants when they come over here legally. I need people to start substantiating their argument by actually justifying why they believe what they believe. And they talking about the founding of this country and stuff like that. Her parents not even from here, fam. Think about that for a minute. A guest that every single day lives in an echo chamber and spews hate, racism, division amongst us every single day. You want to know what the real issue is? I'll tell you what the real issue is. Let me tell you what really happened is the numbers ain't numbering. And one of the reasons that it's not numbering is not just because you're a liberal. It's not just because you are on the wrong side of the fence when it comes to how really, how the American people feel. Because again, we got over 350 million people in this country and we have billions of people worldwide, right? Let me tell you what the real issue is. It's the same thing that you guys do when you open up a restaurant, when you open up a clothing boutique, when you decide that you want to sell your t-shirts. I had a buddy that I went to high school with, and his t-shirts would say, I don't want to say that. The theme of the t-shirts was black. Everything black, but blackity black, but blackity black. And the problem with this, and I told y'all this, and I wish white people would actually just have a come to Jesus moment with y'all and tell y'all the truth. White people is so reluctant to tell y'all the truth because it's no benefit. All you're going to do is come out and try to slander them, kill them, tell them that they're racist, and try to find out who they voted for. But I wish if y'all really thought white women was y'all friends, ask them this. When I say black, everything, does that make you want to watch me? Put it together. You're segmenting and dividing yourself against 86% of the population. What did you think was going to happen once people got tired of your negative rhetoric and the fact that you keep on spewing everything about color and black and black and Black Lives Matters? Do you think that the other 86, because I'll tell you, it's a large segment of black people that don't want to hear that nonsense. But did you think for 1 second that the other 86% of the population would continue to tune into that once DEI, once Black Lives Matters, once the George Floyd protests, once it no longer became popular and we actually got back to reality and people went back to work and they had to deal with their children and they had to deal with deaths in the family and inflation started making its inroads and then people started paying attention to the migrant crisis and all of that? You got to give people more and more substance. Reminds me of 2000 and 2020. 2020 and 2021. Remember when it was like if you were a content creator and you were putting out something that entertained people or you took a position against something, you were going to get some kind of visibility. You were going to blow up. People were going to pay attention to you. Everybody was in the house. Everybody was looking to stream. They was looking for somebody to give them something of value and to help them get through the day because they didn't want to deal with their mother or their baby mother or their husband or their baby daddy or whatever. And so that is the time that people started to blow up. Me, myself, I caught a wave. It's a bunch of other content creators that caught a wave. And guess what? Eventually, everybody got back to reality. Everybody went back to work. Life started lifing again. And most of those content creators, they fell off. And the reason that is because when it's popular to do so, when you get the visibility, what are you going to do with it? Are the only thing that you're talking about is black, black? I tell y'all all the time, stop marketing your business as a black-owned business, because all you're doing is getting rid of a customer base. You want everybody to patronize your business, don't you? Why everybody got to know what you do inside of your living room? So you still have to add value. You still have to be of value. You still have to be entertaining. You still have to, even if you hate me, even if you dislike what I say, what you'll regularly see inside of my chat is people that hate me, people that like me, but people that ultimately have the opportunity to say what they want to say and have an opinion and what it is that we got going on over here, because we don't censor and we don't live in an echo chamber. And so I take a position, but it doesn't mean that I'm not objective enough to call a spade a spade. And it allows for everybody to be able to have their voice heard. And that's why I have the chat participating, and they're my co-hosts of the show. You still have to have value. You still have to be entertaining. You still have to communicate effectively. You still have to be something that somebody wants to watch. And when it all faded away, when you got your promotion at the time that the diversity, equity, and inclusion was at its height, when it all faded away, they found out that all you were was a racist. That's it. You were just a racist. You were a person that leveraged hate against people that didn't look like you, mainly white people and Trump, and that's never going to play out well for you. It's never going to play out well for you.
Talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so
the one that got away, listen, first of all, ain't no the one that got away, because the people that want you, they're going to get you and they're going to find you and you're going to get picked. It's not about the one that, anybody that named themselves the one that got away, I already know that you got real issues because you're not taking accountability for the fact that you didn't get away. They let you go. All right. But let's continue with it. You said lots of black hate for Joy. May not agree with her on all issues, but gloating because she lost her job is wrong. Am I gloating because she lost her job? Or is this the same thing that you guys do when you don't like somebody and you say that they're racist? You call for their removal. You call for their cancel. I have never seen more people call for the cancellation of people that they don't agree with than black people that don't rock out with white people. First of all, nobody is gloating that she lost her job. I never called for her to get fired. It wasn't me. But what I will do is tell you why you got fired, and hopefully you learned a lesson. See, instead of you actually hearing what we got to say, instead of you hearing what we got to say and making adjustments, you look at it as a victim mentality. It's business. It's business. Nobody can listen, the one thing that I know for sure, and this is a fact, the one thing that I know for sure, and two things is for certain. Nobody ever feels sorry for a millionaire. Am I off or am I on? She not no regular person. They've been getting the M's. She was primetime on MSNBC. Nobody feels sorry for a millionaire getting canceled or losing her job. She didn't even get canceled. She just lose her job because she didn't meet the expectations of what it take to be, to be commensurate with whatever her pay was. Nobody feels sorry for a millionaire, and they shouldn't. If she never created another platform, if she never did anything else, nobody should feel sorry for a millionaire making millions of dollars that eventually got canned. Nobody. Stop. Listen, you got bigger issues to worry about than Joy Reid getting removed from MSNBC because her ratings were.
I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show. I'm proud of my little team. The little team that could, I told them today, they were the Avengers. They were this little diverse team who we constructed deliberately to represent every type of person in this country, every religion, every faith, every race, every region, um, every sensibility, every sexual orientation. We said we were intentional. I was very intentional in building my team, inspired by the great Melissa Harris Perry, my dear sister Melissa Harris Perry, from whom I inherited television. Okay, who gave me, with her grace, the opportunity to host in her sacred hour on the weekends, and let me open the door to a Tiffany Cross. Let me open the door to Black people who were not typically on TV. To a Tracy, who started as my producer and then got nominated for an Oscar because she's so brilliant. Let me open the doors to Black people to talk about economics and science and not just Black pain. I am not sorry. And I am so proud of what we did and so grateful that God gave me nearly 5 years to do it. And in total, nearly 10 years to do television my way, on my terms. And so it's been a very strange Black History Month. I won a NAACP Image Award, as did Miss Joteka, for this
You
show.
know, she's not the only person over at MSNBC that got fired, right? When they let go people over at CNN, when they letting go all of these other people over at MSNBC, how come y'all not holding them up in power and speaking truth to power? How come y'all not having a conversation about them? Because y'all fake. You fake outraged. You fake outraged. You fake mad. You fake bad. You fake really care about what's going on in the community. You fake. You fake. You so fake. Y'all so fake. Let me just tell you something. There ain't nothing more fake than people that speak truth to power. When you hear somebody say that statement, they so fake. Y'all so corny. You don't, oh, I care about Joy Reid. You don't even care about your neighbor. You watched her get thrown out and you didn't even help her. The man at the gas station that needed you the most and was testing you like Family Man, like Don Cheadle and Family Man, asked you for $2 so he can catch the bus. And you criticized him and said, I ain't giving you no money. You fake. You fake. Y'all so fake outrage. You so fake love. Everything about you is corny and fake. Y'all so whack. So trash. Oh, I'm outraged. What about the y'all? What? You ain't outraged. You corny. You just want to be a part of the inquiry. You just want to belong. You just like them people that wanted to be down in high school. You look them up to lick them up. You want to be recognized so bad. You want to be a part of the in crowd. You want to be included, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You want to feel a part of something. You just fake. You corny. And we all see it. We see it on you. We see all of that I wanted to be friends with you in high school, but you never gave me a chance. I wish I was still able to go on Sally Jesse Raphael because I was whack, but now I'm back type of energy. Y'all so, oh man, the community. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. You fake outraged. You fake protested. You fake Black Lives Matters. You didn't even buy a shirt from Black Lives Matters. You bought a shirt from the gas station, from the white man that owned the gas station that actually employed a Pakistan man that was selling it to you when they did it with a shirt printer at their crib. You fake outraged. You fake protest in Target. You fake protest Walmart. You you fake. You won't even help your own brother and sister when they in need, but you talking about you for the Black community. You ain't for nothing. You hate your baby daddy. You hate your mother. Your daddy didn't even like you. Your sister is disassociated with you. You don't even have no community. That's why you on the internet acting like you care about Joy Reid. That's why you was on a Zoom call, because you fake. You fake. All y'all corny. You fake. You raging liberals. Y'all so stale to me. You want to be down in high school, couldn't do anything, didn't have nobody that liked you, never had no friends growing up. Fake.
And now you think that because you like Kendrick Lamar and you put your hair in some dreads that somebody supposed to care about your blackness. You're not even all the way black. You more white than you black. You got more white in your blood than black. You need to embrace your white side. You didn't even grow up around us. You never went to had public housing. You never grew up in the hood. You was slumming. You fake. You don't even know what it means to actually need anything other than love. You had love in your household and you still despise it and you went against it. You had a stepdaddy that your mama didn't like and he wanted to love you and you resisted it, and now you acting like you was so, oh my God, you went to college. You know how many people ain't even go to college? You went to college, you got an experience. You decided that you wanted to join the African American Studies group instead of actually getting your education. You fake. You fake mad. You fake outrage. You fake systematic oppression. Corny. That's what your mama should have told you. Oh, you so fake. Get out of here. You grew up around all white people. Your white side of the family helped you. Get out of here with that fake outrage.
And I'm proud that it was specifically for our interview with Brittany Griner, who so many of the people on this call fought for her, believed in the cause of her freedom. Y'all fought for that. I just channeled it on television, and the NAACP Image Awards saw fit to award us for it. So I just want to thank all of you. I'm so deep in gratitude.
I'm sorry.
I'm so deep in joy.
Right? I didn't pray this morning. Let's go ahead and end this early. And move on with the show. I gotta hold up. I gotta do prayer. Nobody want to see this nonsense. Some fake gratitude. We're the little engine that could. I call ourselves the Little Avengers, and that's the Ant-Man over there, and that's Baby Hulk. I don't want to hear. Get out of here. Get out of this. Nobody want to hear this. Get out of here with this bull crap. Nobody want to hear that nonsense. Yo, do we need to pray? I forgot to pray. I forgot to pray. I'm sorry, Lord, bless us to speak truth to power. Give us truth to power speech, and don't let us have a speech impediment when we do it. But bless us to just tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Yes, I grew up in the hood, but I also had two parents and I was raised in a church. Like, tell the whole truth. You not that struggle busing. Everybody couldn't be in the projects because there wasn't enough room for everybody. Oh, Lord, bless us to be focused. Bless us to not get any more tickets. Bless us to be real in Jesus' name. That's enough. That's good enough. Lord know our heart. He know the sentiment of our heart. You know what I'm saying? Jesus wept. Let me read some of these super chats from you know the kid that wear Jordan brand? Never mind, I ain't gonna keep going. Nichelle in the building says, imagine having a fragile ego and massive sense of entitlement that you need a Zoom call with a community of your friends and peers because you lost your job. We black women look crazy. That's a fact. Zach in the building says, Joy in these streets thinking she Tucker Carlson. She gonna get a real wake-up call because she is no Tucker. That's a fact. Ryder Guy says, when you call anyone who disagrees with you a fascist, or liken them to Hitler, people get sick of it and stop watching you. The only audience you get are people in your own echo chamber. Don't care about Joy Reid or the lunch ladies. Oh, we gonna get to the lunch ladies. Black people are consumers, but the business is less profitable when they put black owned and operated. Once you go woke, you go broke. Shout out to Jerry, was looking good last night. 80, why Joy look like Cynthia Erivo? Trey Vision says, Joy was a sock puppet for Democrats. She literally said black Americans are Russian boys when they asked what's in it for us. Tyrone W says her value was in being a Democrat shill, continuing the racism narrative and keeping the black people that follow her on the wrong side of everything. Good riddance. Now she is a church girl. Elizabeth Williams, shout out to Elizabeth, says Joy was as toxic as they come, period. Folks were tired of her racist and one-sided rants and closed-minded views. It's not Christian-like, in my opinion. No, you're right. You're right. High tolerance. Good morning, AD and the bag chaser. Skee ball head had ample opportunities. Jesus Christ. Ample opportunities to pivot and change course, yet she chose to die on that hill called pride. Bye-bye. Rage King Leo says all she did was spread hate on the right. What in the world TV says AD just gave us a whole breakdown of how she can come back. Dude needs to listen. DJ Bobby J says, I don't feel sorry for my baby mama and she broke. How could I feel sorry for a millionaire? They tripping. Shout out to AD. AD and the bag chasers. Joy like Craig and got fired on her day off. And we all found out before she did. Coach Hayward Bay says our people lack self-accountability and awareness, especially the awareness part. Time Dog, did you see Angela Wright crash out overjoyed? I didn't. I will make it a part of my show tomorrow. Christopher J says viewership dropped 53% in December after the elections. Whose fault was that again? Exactly. Good job, black people. Rage King Leo says, preach AD and good morning. My birthday girl says, AD, how we the mixed people catch a stray? Nah, I love my mixed people. People are complaining about a new program that they didn't even watch. If the ratings matched the fake outrage, the show would still be on. It's like a vegan getting upset about Popeyes that closed down. Facts. I agree. Toya, shout out to LaToya, says people saying boycott all of these places on the 28th, but buy what you need up the day before and and after. It defeats the purpose, right? Know nothing about business analytics. LaToya, you are so absolutely right. So buy everything you need the day before so you can protest the day of. Okay. All right. C. Hayes says, it's funny the liberals praise Brittany Griner even after she beat up her pregnant girlfriend. What about the justice and rights for women? What about the fact we had to give up the Russian merchant of death to get her? Keep cooking, C. Student. Shout out to my dog, Be Wise. And my girl, Mika, says it's all bald head reasoning. Yeah. Make sure y'all go and check out Red Cup Talks with Mika, too. Phenomenal podcast, a phenomenal platform. All right. Y'all ready to go back? We'll go back into the mire. We digging deep today, y'all. We digging deep today. We going into the mire. Rachel. Overpaid and overstayed Rachel. Rachel had something to say about her bosses. Imagine that, though. Think about this. Look how privileged these people are. Imagine that you can go on a platform of a person that pays you an egregious amount of money, millions of dollars every single year, and you can talk negatively about the decisions that your employer is making. Imagine you live in a country where you can say what you want when you want to and not even get fired and not even have to face repercussions when you speak negatively about your employer. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call privilege. This is what we call privilege. When a new boss comes in and fire your homeboy and you can go online and talk negatively about your employer, that is what you call privilege, ladies and gentlemen. 100% privilege. But we'll get there. So this was Rachel Maddow's meltdown speech over what happened to her friend, Joy Reid. Check it out.
PM hour, all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid.
Now, how many of you believe that? In 40 years of working, since she was, in her words, 12, 51 years old, 39, 40 years of hustling, grinding, and going to get it. She says there is no one, not one person on the face of this earth. Now, you can't even find a picture of these two together. I did. I went through on Google and I Googled it and I put in Rachel Maddow with the W at the end, not an X, and Joy Reid. Personally, and it may be out there, but I did not find it. I couldn't even find a picture of these two together, of them saying, could not find one picture. They have been working together, and I'm pretty sure it's out there somewhere. I just personally couldn't find it. They have been working at the same network for probably the better part of 10 years. She says that too mad what AJ said. Why is that hard to believe? But why is that hard to believe? Really? Let's hear what she said again.
All of the jobs I have had in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid.
In 40 years of all of the jobs and all of the things that you've been through and everybody that you never worked with in your entire life, and you're telling me that it could be true. It could be true. I don't believe it, but it absolutely can be true. 100% could be true. Absolutely. The possibility is there that Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow had the utmost respect and had the biggest admiration for each other.
I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally,
Too mad. I don't have pictures with some of the people I've admired or respected at work. We're talking about the most admired, the most respected person that you've ever run across in your life of all of your years of working. And you are national pundits and you probably have never even shared the same stage with each other. And I don't know if that to be true, but I'm just saying. This sound like my black friend at work farewell speech. That's what it sounds like.
I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it. But there's just one other piece of it that you should know. From your side of the TV screen, you will mostly see changes in terms of who's in the anchor chair. And actually, everybody who's going to be in anchor chairs from here on out are great colleagues and great at what they do, and you are not going to be disappointed in who's on our air and what you're going to be seeing. But one thing you cannot necessarily see is that the people who get our shows on the air, they're really being put through the ringer. Dozens of producers and staffers, including some who are among the most experienced and most talented and most specialist producers in the building, are facing being laid off. They're being invited to reapply for new jobs. That has never happened at this scale in this way before when it comes to programming changes, presumably because it's not the right way to treat people, and it's inefficient, and it's unnecessary, and it kind of drops the bottom out of whether or not people feel like this is a good place to work, and so we don't generally do things that way.
The one thing that federal workers could never understand was that we can't subsidize your lifestyle with taxpayer dollars just to say that half of the jobs that was created under Biden was in the federal workforce. half of the jobs that the Biden administration said that they created was federal workers, not private entities, not people being hired from companies that's creating new jobs, not from startups, not any of that stuff. It came from the federal workforce. Somebody, and I don't know how true this is, somebody on the show last night said, Anton, the United States of America federal workforce is the 15th largest employer in the world. I never expected for federal employees that were getting laid off, that felt that like they were going to be secure for the rest of their life. I never expected for them to get it because they never worked at a company. And most people that have worked at a private company or a publicly traded firm or anything like that, at some point you faced layoffs or getting laid off or your job's being cut, or you know somebody that was getting a job cut, or you left right before they cut jobs. Somebody knew somebody that got laid off. And 9 times out of 10 is because whatever division that they worked in or the company was not operating profitably. We all know, and we talked about it, and I did a whole breakdown on this show, that after the election, MSNBC and CNN's numbers were abysmal, absolutely abysmal, which means that with you being an at-will employee, if you are not meeting expectations, if you cannot deliver, if you work at Apple, if you work at Microsoft, if you work at Chase, if you work at the Ford company, if you work at the pencil making factory, if you're an executive, if you're a producer, if you're a person that's putting together something that is not delivering, if you are a UX UI specialist and you deliver a product that the people don't like and it get panned inside of the store, the Apple store or the Android store, guess what? You lose your job. It's not about the way that you treat people. When you signed up for the job, the reason why you make the big bucks is because you get rewarded based off of your results. If Tesla did not sell a whole lot of cars, and if they were not profitable, and if they were not being led by a person that understands business, meaning that his net worth is tied into the equity of the company, guess what? Elon Musk would be broke. But because he's successful, he get the big dollars because his performance is tied to the success of the company. Similarly, for whatever reason, y'all looking at these people as employees. These people have the jobs that they have based off of the numbers that they're able to produce. When your salary does not match up with your numbers, and the producers cannot produce a show that would make people actually like you, and the people that's behind the scenes can't make you look any prettier on camera, and the person that's writing your speech can't make you sound any more articulate, and the people just ain't rocking with you because you are a racist bigot and you do not appeal to the general public anymore, guess what? It's not about whether or not it's a nice place to work. It's about saving the company because the numbers is not commensurate with whatever your performance is saying that it needs to be in order to get this pay. So they need to get somebody that's cheaper, more efficient. The numbers may not improve, but at least they ain't got to pay you that big salary. It's time for you to go. That's why you make so much money up front. That's why they pay you the big bucks, because you have to deliver. That's it. It's a shakeup because you guys are no longer profitable. You are not generating the same revenue that you was generating when you got that big contract. And so I don't even look at this as, oh my God, they're canceling all of the liberals on the platform. No, the platform is still going to remain liberal. And they're spinning off MSNBC because it's no longer a profitable platform, as well as all these other shows that they're getting rid of, and legacy media is dying. And change has to come because they can't justify spending the money that they're spending on you to produce less than stellar results. You cannot hold on to a job just because you feel like you add value and you talk about what you want to talk about, but your numbers is not adding up at all. People go away every day, B. People kill their platforms every day, B. People say, you know what, it ain't worth it every day, B, because they can't hit it. They can't do it. They can't deliver. They're not as good as they thought that they was, and the people not rocking with them.
Maybe all of our folks, including most of the people who are getting this very show on the air right now, maybe they will all get new jobs here, and I hope they do. But in the meantime, being put in this kind of limbo,
have a safe
the
flight,
anxiety and the discombobulation is off the charts at a time when this job already is extra stressful and difficult. It is not news for me to tell you that the press and freedom of the press are under attack in a way that is really, it's a big deal for our country. It's very visceral for us here. I know that the business of the press is not an easy thing, and I know that no job is forever. But I think I'm safe in saying for all.
Young Fifth says, you talk about this. What value you bringing, sir? Well, I guess you don't really understand that we doing anywhere from 15 to 26 million views a month. Millions of hours of watch time. Bag chasers can speak to the value that listen, I eat what I kill. I don't complain because I am paid handsomely and I am completely independent. So the value that I bring is commensurate with the money that I make. And the last video that I just dropped in the Patreon for the people actually shows you what my numbers are and exactly what I get paid. My sponsors are incredibly happy with the value that I bring because they generate a lot of revenue, and that's why we've had such a long-term contract, and the numbers continue to go up. If I wasn't delivering, then I wouldn't be saying, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off live. Somebody loved me because we keep going up in numbers every single month and every single day and every single bag chaser meeting. I keep seeing more people join the bag chasers every single day. You can't fire me because I'm the boss. And I show up every day. No PTO, no nothing. I just grind, I hustle.
All of us anchors who you know through the TV, please know that what pains us the most is not what happens to us. It is what happens to our coworkers on whom we depend and who you don't necessarily know, but we respect and love them and depend on them. And did I mention we respect them? This is a difficult time in the news business, but it does not need to be this difficult. We welcome new voices to this place and some familiar voices to new hours. It's going to be great, honestly, and we want to grow and succeed and
Yeah. We heard all of that. You know what's so funny? One person asked me what value that I bring, and then another person then comments after I explain the value that I bring, and they say, well, bragging isn't good. Well, listen, get your feminine, sassy butt off the live stream then. Stop being so weak and worrying about whether or not somebody got money or not. Bragging isn't good. And being sassy as a man ain't good either. Gosh. Why are y'all so weak? Why are my people so weak? Why are they so feminine? Why are they so weak? Stop being weak. Grow up. You don't have to be gay. Ugh. It ain't nothing. It's nothing more emasculating than a guy that says, because bragging isn't good. You should humble yourself or God is going to come for you. Get some balls. A backbone. Stand up for yourself. Don't worry. That's why we gonna start the New Masculine show. We going with the New Masculine show, bro. It's coming literally next month. Already got new cameras and all of that on the way and everything. We'll get to Elon Musk shortly. Ooh, I know y'all wives hate you. I know your mother be looking like, yeah, my son is a little feminine, but hopefully he grow out of it. Let me get him this Millionaire Morning Show. You wouldn't believe how many women say, I send this to my son. Dre with the K says, we're going to have to put a tariff on you for missing your morning prayer, AD. I prayed. Let me find out baby Bobhead Joy out here being fake. Shout out to Courtney. Crazy P says, Joy Reid got her Negro wake-up call. Now she's bucking her eyes. Courtney says, I'm going to need Mark Cuban haircut Rachel Maddow. Oh, Jesus. To go on somewhere. I'm not trying to hear that. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says she was probably munching Joy's box in a broom closet and they didn't want people to get suspicious, so no pics. Oh my God. Got to kick out my auntie apartment because she's TDS. AD, she's fake trying to get Joy's viewers. What in the world TV says? Danny Shea says MSNBC got to get better looking women. This is crazy. Joy was looking like Wesley Snipes. And Rachel looking like Rick Owens. God, y'all some wild boys. Solomon Cannon says, good morning, Bag Chasers. AD, how do you gain salvation in the Bible? I've heard conflicting messages where you confess and believe in your heart that believe in your heart in Jesus, or do you need to be baptized in the water in Jesus Christ's name? Also, thanks in advance. That's an interesting question. Here, this is what I'll tell you. I can only tell you what my experience is. I come from an old school, apostolic, Pentecostal, shout till you die church. And I have been baptized, but the thing that we had to do was we had to tarry. Now, tarrying is, I ain't gonna get into all of it, but tarrying, and then eventually you tarry and you petition God, and then eventually you're filled with the Holy Spirit, which we call it the Holy Ghost in the Pentecostal church. You get filled with the Holy Ghost, and the evidence of it is speaking in other tongues as the Spirit of God gives utterance. How you live your life also plays a factor, because the Bible is clear about the conditions by which it takes in order to reign with him. That's what I will tell you. All right. We had to go to church and we had to tarry for the Holy Ghost. We called it the Holy Ghost, not the Holy Spirit, not none of that stuff. We had to tarry for the Holy Ghost. And eventually, you know, the evidence of it was the Spirit of God, and not these people that teach you how to speak in other tongues. So it was a whole way in which we sought salvation, and then we lived our lives according to what the Word of God says. That's the way that you get saved. So take it for what you will. All right. All right. Hopefully that answers your question, Solomon Cannon. She works one day a week, talking about it's hard out here. I heard they got her working overtime now, though. Two Trey says the outrage for Joy is crazy because the viewership did. Racist Maddow's concern for the comfort of employment is a great DEI example. Tia Marie, my favorite earthy girl, says the irony of a lesbian white woman speaking on the termination of an angry black woman is a DIA diabolical. Keep being valuable, Anton. I appreciate you. Mr. Lot in the building. Shout out to Mr. Lot. I got to be honest, bro, coming from the city, if you were humble, the message wouldn't hit the same. Right. They want me to be all meek and humble. They want me to talk to you like this. Yes, guys, and be careful of your jobs. Well, that ain't me. I don't know what you want me to say. That ain't me. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let us continue on to the show. Elon Musk. It's a lot of going back and forth about this ultimatum that Elon Musk. And I had this conversation with y'all yesterday, but they extended the deadline of the people to actually reply in an email about what it is that they did during a week. And this is the latest thing. In addition to that, a person came on a platform, came on CNN, and I like to get different views from different people on different platforms so that we're not operating in an echo chamber. But a person came onto a platform to explain exactly how they felt. And of course, same look, white glasses, all of that stuff. Came on a platform to explain exactly how they felt about Elon Musk requiring for them to substantiate exactly what they're doing on a daily basis inside of the federal workforce. Hit a like for the algorithm. Let's rock out.
Elon Musk moments ago in a major and confusing backtrack, now saying federal employees may get a second chance to respond to his email demanding to know weekly accomplishments or lose their job. The deadline from the email that he'd sent over the weekend was midnight tonight. Now Musk is saying, quote, subject to the discretion of the president, they will be given another chance. Failure to respond a second time will result in termination. This is very confusing because, many of the agencies run by Trump's appointees were basically saying, don't reply to the email. And this new kind of, okay, you get a second chance and then you're fired, came just a few hours after President Trump had warned that anyone who didn't reply to the first email would be punished. He had praised Musk's ultimatum as a, quote, ingenious idea.
If you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, I think everyone thought it was a pretty ingenious idea.
Katie Drummond is out front, global editorial director at Wired. She and her team, as anyone who watches the show knows, have been breaking so much news on Musk and Doge and what's going on. So now it's even more uncertain because it was, respond or else. And then, Trump's own appointed secretaries were basically like, don't respond. Now Musk saying, we get a second chance or else.
Somebody in the chat says, I'm surprised that email is causing so many problems. Listen, bro, when people feel entitled and when people are lazy and when people actually against the president of the United States of America, they will find any reason to get upset. You know this. It happened on regular jobs every single day. They'd be like, hey, man, make sure that y'all count inventory before y'all leave every single day so that we can make sure that we got our numbers correct. Oh, I can't believe it. They always want us to do extra work. Ma'am, you get paid hourly. You getting paid for the time that you're here. What does it matter exactly what I asked you to do? Can you please just do your job so that we can make sure that our inventory is correctly, so we make sure that y'all not stealing? I can't believe it. They always want us to do extra work. Don't you know that I don't have to do that? That's not in my job description. All right, here you go, ma'am. Here's your pink slip. Come on, let me go ahead and walk you out the door. Here's your paperwork. You can go ahead and go. I can't believe they fired me. Oh my God. What am I going to do? I have so much to take care of, and there's nothing else that I can do that actually helps me to become a better person. Oh my God, here's my GoFundMe. That's the cycle. Cycle of poverty, I like to call it.
Else.
Or else something.
Right. So
Right.
what is all this?
I feel like I have been saying the word chaos on your show a lot for the last month, and it's because it continues to be just this erratic, irrational, baffling chaos playing out across the federal government, and this is just another example. I'm confused. I don't know what will happen to these federal employees if they don't send 5 bullet points of their accomplishments last week to an email address ostensibly controlled by an unelected billionaire.
Right.
It's chaos.
It is absolutely bizarre. I mean, Musk actually then called the email, Katie, a very basic pulse check.
Sure.
And that was the word there appears to have been carefully chosen.
Right.
The suggestion is that dead people are on the government payroll and that somehow there's some sort of fraud going on, that you say you're working or else. And then Trump actually brought it up this afternoon, this whole idea. Here's what he said.
A lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. We have to find out where these people are. Who are they? And we said, if you don't respond, we assume you're not around.
I don't think that that's an unreasonable ask because, honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you, I know some people that have quiet quitted so long and they are still on the payroll. This is the honest to God truth. I know people who exist on payroll and don't even be in the country. I know people who exist on payroll for the federal government, for different entities, and they don't even be in the country, family. What is so unreasonable about the fact that our government is so inefficient to where we don't even know who's really here and who's not here anymore? Aww. Somebody want my attention. They keep saying the same thing over and over again. They want me to respond to them. I'm not going to say your name. You can keep watching and you can keep chatting. I don't have any problem with you criticizing and stuff like that, but I'm not going to. I know you want me to bring you to the front of the congregation. You like the bad kid that really, really want my attention. That's why they keep copying and pasting the same message. Anton, wasn't it? Nope. You're wrong. And it's okay. And I want you to stick around. You subscribe just so you can be able to, so I can try to get your attention. But I'm not going to bring you to the front of the congregation because the Lord told me that you're desperate for attention. But there are people, seriously, I know people in private companies and very, very large companies that you don't even know who's there. And I know people, and they also got deals with they supervisor and stuff like that. I know people that are on the payroll and they haven't done work for months. Haven't done work in months. Don't even be in the country half the time. Be out of town and don't even put in PTO no more.
Where does this idea come from?
So this is not the first time in recent weeks that Musk and Trump have brought up the notion of dead people who don't exist. Previously it was Musk commenting on 150-year-olds collecting Social Security benefits. So much of this, I believe, is designed to cater to a conspiratorial part of their base, right? It's the online fans, it's the followers who are attracted to this notion that dead people are collecting millions of dollars in federal funds or in federal salaries.
Or voting in Georgia.
They're everywhere, and they're all dead, and they are taking money from tax-paying Americans who really like to believe in things that aren't true. And I think that this is another example of Musk and Trump playing exactly into that audience, exactly into that base.
Back to the famous movie, I See Dead People, right? Okay, Musk's moves are causing a lot of backlash. I mean, the TVs at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. I mean, this was kind of amazing. I don't know what it was, like an AI-generated video.
AI-generated video.
It was Trump, and he's kissing Musk's feet. The words "Long live the king" are on the screen. And then they had to literally, I guess, manually turn the TV off.
They had to unplug all of the TVs.
What do you know about this?
We don't know who's behind it. We don't know how it came to be that this, to be clear, very stressful to watch video was being played all across the TVs in this department. But what it signals, right, is that you have a federal workforce that is fed up. They have been plunged into chaos. They don't know if they have job security. They don't even know who they answer to. And it appears as though at least some of them are making their displeasure known, from what we can tell with a very provocative video that somehow ended up on a lot of TVs in at least one federal agency today.
And this is the reason why you know that we need to continue to clean house, because you have people that are committing treason, that are disrespectful, and they're, instead of going in and doing your job and then hoping that you don't get fired, they decide that they want to do pranks inside of the government buildings. These are the people that are working for the federal government and are getting paid tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they are playing pranks on TVs inside of federal buildings.
Provocative may be the word choice of the day. I don't know where to laugh or be absolutely disgusted.
I can't in good.
Now, Letitia Thompson, she's a clinical social worker at the Veterans Affairs Department. And Letitia, I really appreciate your speaking, because I know it doesn't come without real risk at this time, but you're choosing to speak out and put a face on this for so many in America. Can I just start with, you were instructed, I know, by your department to reply to that email, which basically said, hey, tell us what you did last week, justify the existence of your job. And
somebody said, I need Elon to tweet everything that they're doing. We deserve to know what is going on. All you got to do is go to the Doge website. Let me pull it up for you. You can literally go to the Doge website, and everything is super transparent, way more transparent than we've ever experienced inside of our federal government. You can go to the Department of Government Efficiency website, doge.gov, and you can see every single thing that they're finding. You can see whatever the updates are. You can find out what's happening all day long. It's not hard to do. It's only a Google search away. There you go. This is the Doge website, and it's literally being tweeted. Social Security Administration completed the same software audit initial findings for redundant survey tools ranging from $118,000 to $1.8 million a year, paying for 10,000 UiPath licenses, only 5,011 paying for 20,000 Tableau licenses, only using 11,000. So the findings and the audits that you see on a lot of these things that they're tweeting and that they're showing you every single day, if you just want to know, it's not just with employees. It's not just with money being used. It's not with money just being sent overseas. It's not just money just being stole. They're not even utilizing most of the licenses, all of the money that's going to these companies, all of this stuff. It is fraud, waste, and abandonment that is happening in our federal government that's basically coming at the hands of our taxpayers. They're telling you every single thing that they're doing. Agencies often have more software licenses than employees. The licenses are often idle, paid for, but not installed on any computer. For example, at GSA, 13,000 employees, there are 37,000 WinZip licenses and 19,000 training software subscriptions. That's called waste. That's literally called, you can go to the Doge website and see the type of waste, and they're tweeting it and doing it in real time and letting you know exactly what they're finding and why we need to continue to audit every single thing including the federal government, including the FBI. They're going to go through every single department. And I believe that this is necessary. Somebody said, why do they need that many WinZip licenses? Exactly. They don't.
Up against the deadline for that reply. Have you finished your reply? And what did you say?
I have not finished my reply as of yet. However, I plan on just emphasizing the fact that I have, supported my performance standards, and, applied the, the what is expected of me in my job description.
So when we talk about Doge and the impact, what was your reaction over the weekend when you get this email?
Astonishment. I did not expect to be receiving an email, right? On Saturday, I'm not employed. My tour of duty is not at that time. And of course, I did not check my email to know, but, I did find out through my colleagues and through the news circuit that it was there waiting for me on Monday to respond to by the end of today. Once I saw the content of that email, I found it to be very disrespectful and insulting. The federal workforce goes to work every single day and provide critical services to working families.
How can you find it insulting if they ask you to put out 4 or 5 bullet points of what you did over the last week? Bro, that literally takes 3-4 minutes tops. Maybe not even, maybe 2 or 3 minutes tops. If you asked me to write out some bullet points of exactly what it is that I did over the last week, I could probably give you 50 of them. Let me just get 5 of the most important. Take me longer to be able to get this show together and get all of these lower thirds and stuff up here flying up and on the screen and all of that than it do for you to be able to write an email. Why are y'all so lazy? Why are you so lazy? Grow up. And I found it insulting and disrespectful.
Veterans, seniors, students, every single day. We have to actually complete performance standards about every 6 months. That accounts for our necessary duties in the federal government. So, it was just clear to me that the email was, yet another scare tactic meant to humiliate, dehumanize, demoralize the federal workforce. And in fact, we want to go to work every day. We, are accountable to the American public and not to a billionaire.
So President Trump praised the idea of Elon Musk, right? This idea to send the emails. Here's what he said.
What he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired.
And this is what they do. They chop up and they don't play the whole message. But let's just hear what she got to say.
Did then learn that agencies were saying, well, that's voluntary for you to respond to the actual email itself. But then President Trump also posted a meme which was mocking. It showed a character of SpongeBob SquarePants. And the list of tasks under SpongeBob was, quote, cried about Trump, cried about Elon, made it into the office for once, read some emails, cried about Trump and Elon some more. How do you respond to those, the meme, the statement that's coming from the president of the United States?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate and demoralizing to hear that exactly, because I know how hard me and my colleagues work every single day to make sure that the America is running. Essentially, we make sure that mail gets processed and delivery, veterans get the care that they need, protect air and water from corporate pollution. And as far as the crying noted in the meme, this is causing a lot of emotional distress.
I would love to just know exactly what these people do. I want to know what people do on their job. I honestly be wanting to know what people do on their job. When you meet people in person and you say, hey, what do you do? And they just list their job title. I don't want to know what your job title is no more. I want to know what you do on your job. Oh, I'm a budget analyst for the. Oh, so what do you do? Gossip all day at work. You a gossip girl. Hey, what do you? What do you do? Oh, you know, I'm an analyst. I'm run projects. This and that. No. What do you do? Like, what exactly does that mean? Gossip, chilling, be at lunch all day, wasting time. Can't wait till you get off of work. I know some people that go to work out during the time that they at work. I want to know what people actually do. I don't want to know your job title. Anybody can create a job title for themselves. I want to know exactly what you do. I want to know the bullet points of what you do on a daily basis. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. All right, I apologize. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we'll move over to the next part of the show. Charles Keys Sr. says, I'm taking my collard greens out the garden today. Joy can help me wash them in the bathtub. Jesus Christ. Thomas Taylor says, Anton, I've been laid off twice. I'm guessing that autocorrect is kind of messing you up, so I'm going to give you some grace. I've been laid off twice between two different comps. Once was 1 week before Christmas. One was 2 weeks after Christmas. Only my family cared. I can understand that. The Lucid Experience says, all he asked was for the equivalent of a weekly service log for the job like I had to do in sales. Why is everyone's panties in a bunch? We had to fill out time cards to actually get budgeted for from the company every single week, even when you are an employee. We had to do, not time cards, but we had to do a time log every week to basically make sure that we're billing correctly and we allocating the budget correctly for the bank. Okay, I'm working on this project, working on this project, working on this project. This is not abnormal. Federal government employees are so spoiled that they don't even know what we really go through in the real world. Viper Venom says, so if my entire chain of command, civilian and military chief or a military chief of the branch, publicly ordered we not respond to, but Elon, who according to federal court has no official government position, says reply, whose order should I disobey? All right, let me read that again. So if my entire chain of command, civilian and military, publicly ordered we not respond, but Elon, who according, listen, I'm responding. I don't care nothing what you're talking about. I'm responding. I'm doing my bullet points. You can do your diversity, equity, and inclusion. Y'all can keep going back and forth. I'm doing my bullet points. I'm going to respond. I'm going to listen to the president of the United States of America. Anton be giving out pink slips and he know it. No, I don't. I don't fire people. I just hire the right people that's not lazy and it does not feel entitled. Tech Coach Ralph says, I've been having to report my accomplishments for the past 20 years. It's called a performance review. We welcome to the private sector. Mr. Lott says, I know people that submit PTO from the TSA line. Yep. Biden was missing for 3 years and now you want transparency? Okay. Elizabeth Williams says Joy just needs to move on. I agree. Chad for Moore says, I don't get it with federal workers. I'm being laid off too. Using this time to learn new skills, apply for jobs and interviews, and getting my severance. Get that money, big dog. High Tolerance says Elon is not making an outlandish request. People choose to be defiant and insubordinate on the government's dime and will be dealt with accordingly. Hopefully. She sounds like she ain't do all week. I agree. She probably didn't. Devin Braxton says, if you have to complete performance reviews every 6 months and copy and paste, complain just to complain. Courtney Smith says, how does she get those glasses on TV? How does she think that those glasses on TV was a good idea? Man, all I got to do is list 4 or 5 things and have ChatGPT outline it for them. Dang, you ain't even got to do that. It's so easy. Sending a 5-sentence email is disrespectful is wild. Saying a 5-sentence email is disrespectful is wild. Okay. Rush King 19 says our president shouldn't be a troll, but I love it. Debt Free Dad says, AD, unless your work is national security, law enforcement sensitive, or attorney-client protected, write the D bullet points. Delta Fox then comes on and he emphasizes that I've been writing weekly reports about what I did every week since 2019, went from 95,000 and 300,000 now. The weekly reports are common practice in high-paying jobs, and I write the reports and you get your bag. They don't know that, though. They entitled. Manuel AG says, with that background, those glasses look like they floating in midair. You so ugly for that. Ryder Guy says, AD, you need to rock a pair of those white glasses. Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to rock out with that. I do got some new ones that I'm going to be pulling out soon. Grown adults crying about writing five bullet points. I'm a 25-year-old maintenance worker for the city, and I can write 100 bullet points in 5 minutes. That's because we used to this. If I paid $111 billion in taxes, I'd be putting people on notice too. Facts. Mr. 47, I'll take their $5K and their job. Thank you. Chris Cunningham says, you hear about Axe Adams, $3 billion from Biden? I didn't. Send that to me in an email. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. The View has something to say about this, and I want to go over it very quickly. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. Let's rock.
The new administration's campaign promise to gut federal agencies helped put them back in the White House. But now they seem to be facing a backlash. And in and out of D.C., the new White House appointees like Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard told federal workers to ignore Elon Musk's demand that employees list what they did at work last week. Like, this is what they need to be doing, because he's curious. And a growing number of voters in Republican districts, which is where the noise needs to be made, are telling their local leaders that this is not what they signed up for. Take a look.
Why is a supposedly conservative party taking such a radical and extremist and sloppy approach to this? You have to.
So I've seen this video, and let me add context to this. Even though the entire district is red and Republican, the people that showed up at the meeting, especially for a growing base over in Georgia of younger families that tend to be more liberal and Democrats in their views, were the ones that were asking these questions and applauding and trying to hold him accountable for the things that Trump was doing in office, as far as who their congressperson was and or their representative, Rich McCormick, over in that district in Georgia. As a matter of fact, the meeting was in Roswell, and Roswell was largely considered to be a red area or a red city in itself, but there is a growing group of people that tend to be more liberal, which made it seem like, and I almost believe that a lot of these things are staged, honestly, which made it seem like, oh, this is a Republican-led district and the people are getting mad. No, they are not Republicans. No, they're not conservatives. These are liberals at this meeting that did vote liberally inside of the last election that is asking a Republican representative questions. So it's all a farce. It's all a facade. It's all a thing. And this is one of the reasons why I think that The View is going to be next right after Joy.
Do more with less in order to survive.
Elon Musk is there. He will be able to raise questions. And because of
Let's get to the lunch ladies.
Voters be listening to their constituents, or are they going to fall into line with the White House? Because it seems to me many of them may not have jobs in a year.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is the find out period, right? I think of a lot of the people that voted for this new administration, and they certainly didn't vote for Elon Musk. And so what I do want to point out is that Elon Musk is allegedly responsible for the DOGE, which is the Department of DOGE. It's the Department of Government Efficiency. And it was started to root out waste, fraud, and abuse, right? Now, let's talk about waste. We're still waiting for Elon's group, even though the White House now says he's not in charge of the group, to identify real government waste, because they...
Did I not just point it out on the Doge website? Here, let me pull it back up for you guys, just in case you haven't seen it. Okay, so this is the Department of Government Efficiency. All right, he goes through and he breaks down exactly what is going on. 4 redundant survey tools ranging 10 UiPath licenses, 10,000 UiPath licenses. Only 5,000 is using 20,000 Tableau licenses. Only 11,000 employees. All of this stuff. So all of this site, you can literally go to Doge's website. Not today's contract updates. 95 cancellations, with savings of $115 million, ceiling value of $235 million, including 2 USDA contracts, $265,000 for food nutrition service 3-day leadership retreat in Atlanta. They're using your government dollars and your taxpayer dollars for a food and nutrition service 3-day leadership retreat in Atlanta. $30,000 for a Malaysia study tour facilitation services. They're actually showing you the proof. They're putting it up there for you to see. I don't know what's so difficult. The USGSA sold the old Webster School building in D.C. for $4 million, 4.1. The building was acquired via condemnation in 2003, remained empty and boarded up ever since, and accrued $24 million in deferred maintenance and liabilities. $324,000 grant for increasing DEIA programming for integrated pest management. Am I missing something? Is the lunch ladies and I on a different page? Are we looking at something different? Or can you literally go over here and see the screenshot, see exactly what they found, and see why it's necessary for them to go through and audit every single department of the federal government? But Sonny Holston will sit here and tell you on national TV, that this department that was created to root out fraud, waste, and abuse is not doing its job, and we're only 1 month into Trump's presidency. You ain't even got to Google it. You can just go straight there and it'll show you. Crazy.
Claim, even this, right? Now, let's talk about waste. We're still waiting for Elon's group, even though the White House now says he's not in charge of the group, to identify real government waste, because they claim that they saved $55 billion. Well, that is false. The itemized data shows it's far less. And in fact, a post-analysis found that hundreds of these canceled contracts that they listed as representing savings, there were savings of $0. So that's the first thing.
The numbers were way off.
And the numbers were way off.
How come they don't list their contracts?
That's my second point.
Oh,
fraud. Now, Musk's own companies have been promised or awarded nearly $21 billion by the U.S. government since 2008. Now, the cash is still flowing to Elon Musk, with another $76.7 million promised since Trump's inauguration. Yet Doge is firing those federal employees that have oversight over his own contracts. So where is the fraud? Is it in the government or is it in Doge?
You know, I think can
I say one last thing? In terms of abuse, they are abusing federal workers. They are abusing federal workers. I was a federal worker. And I think they're abusing them because they're blinded by Elon Musk's greed. I was a federal worker. Now, how am I supposed to respond to Elon's request that I list 5 things when I've been in front of the grand jury, when I've met with witnesses that are in WITSEC programs in Oregon, and am I supposed to identify people and put their lives at risk?
So you can't read between the lines. First of all, what she's saying about Elon's government contract, she didn't add context, but we'll get to that. So you're telling me that you are so disconnected you can't understand that you don't have to put everybody's social security numbers or exactly the names of the people that you met, but you can just, in a summary, 5 bullet points, hey, I worked on this, I worked on that, I had to go and do this, I had to go and do that, I had to go and do that. Are you telling me that you're that situationally unaware? Christ. I can't imagine being married to these women. Could you imagine being in a relationship with these women? Could you imagine sitting at the dinner table with these women night in and night out? It would just be absolutely, positively. Is this what y'all dealing with out here in the streets? Oh.
Reduce their job to 5 bullet points. Well, you know, I think that instead of whether we should call it Doge or we should call it Dodge, because they are dodging logic, they're dodging oversight, They're dodging legality. They're dodging the Constitution, and they're certainly dodging any sort of empathy or compassion for your fellow Americans. I think what people are beginning to find out, and I've sensed a shift. It's been a little bit over a month now. I know it feels a lot longer than that. But I have sensed a shift in the last week because I think, people are hearing about all the pain, all the suffering, all the distress, all the fear. They're hearing about the little 11-year-old girl committing suicide because she was bullied because her parents were undocumented immigrants. They are hearing about the fired fire rangers and park rangers. They're hearing about the firing of C.Q. Brown, a general who was the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the woman who was heading the Navy, Lisa Franchetti. 40 years, each of them, in their careers. They are hearing about all of this chaos. And last week, on Friday, the Dow went down over 700 points.
Me neither, Janice.
Trump, we are now seeing that his numbers have suddenly shifted. He's 5 points down in net approval rating on CNN, 6 points down in Gallup, 7 points down in Ipsos, 4 points down in Quinnipiac. And it is because this is enough. I am so happy to see Americans protesting, showing up, calling their congresspeople 202-224-3121. That is the congressional
One thing I want to say is whenever they're talking about this haphazard chainsawing to the federal agencies, we talk about the fact that Trump was elected for the idea, one of the ideas was cutting this waste. But the voters didn't say how, the scope and the pace at which it would happen.
And real waste.
Because right now, the adequate way to do this would be to give it a few months, learn these agencies, because you cannot identify the problem until you know the entire operation. And that's not what we're seeing here, which is why we're seeing this drop in not only ratings, but the pushback on the Republican congresspeople. They're in these town halls, and what they need to be reminded of is Donald Trump didn't elect them to office. The voters in those rooms elected them to office. And in 2 years, when the midterms come up, they're going to notice, because right now we've seen like Jesse Waters and Fox say, oh, well, we wanted the waste cut, but not the veterans. And then like Zachary Levi said something like, some of these people voted for you. He's a president for everyone. And when you criticize what's happening here, you have to recognize that you have people that are taking orders from Elon Musk, who wasn't elected, but then their own administrative heads, like
Kash Patel.
And Tulsi Gabbard are saying, no, don't reply to the email. But there's an email. But how does anyone operate?
And Kash Patel are making sense.
And Jesse Waters, the point here is
you gotta
who's in charge? Because if I have a bunch of bosses, if one boss says, email me back, and the other one says, just disregard that, I wouldn't know which way to jump.
I think what we also need to...
Listen. Nobody wants to actually just have common sense and address the elephant in the room. I see this on a regular basis from people that are intentionally confused, or they want to be confused, or they want to act like they don't understand what's happening. Here's the truth. You know what you're doing, and if you are a slouch on the job. When Trump has to clarify and say, hey, listen, we're doing a pulse check to find out, because there has been no accountability in our federal government for a long time. We're doing a pulse check to find out exactly what is going on, who is there, who's not there, and ultimately whether or not people are actually even at work at all. I don't think that that's unreasonable. People are so coddled, and I have never, ever, ever seen them acknowledge the fact that they are rooting out the waste and abuse and all of the stuff that was happening in the places that they were sending all of our taxpayer dollars. I want it all. Listen, I told y'all a long time ago. Do you remember when I had a conversation with y'all and they said, Anton, if you was to ever become mayor or governor or anything like that, what would you do? Before Trump even became president, this was probably towards the middle of last year, and they said, Anton, what would you do if you became president? I said, I would cut everybody. What would you do if you become mayor? Everybody getting cut. We going down to the basic essential services. Everybody going to have to find another job. Let me see if I can find that.
To think about here is that people are really going to feel these changes in their own pockets. Like your grandmother's Social Security, you're going to be harmed. That tax refund check that you rely upon,
I'm not going to be able to find it.
6,000 IRS workers. You think you're going to get your tax refund on time?
Well,
Medicare, Medicaid, Social
listen,
Security, everything.
None of these things have lowered the price of eggs 1 cent.
Not 1 cent. Not 1 cent.
Well, if you think back, this is what I told you was going to happen. I told you people were going to sit, wait and see what they wanted to fight and how they wanted to fight.
Nothing is going to be more satisfying when I see the lunch ladies from The View. Even more than Joy Reid. Even more than Joy Reid, nothing is going to be more satisfying than when we see the lunch ladies from The View take a nosedive. Absolutely. I cannot wait. I can't wait. It is going to be watch. I predicted Joy. I'm going to predict The View. I'm going to predict The View. The daytime television talk show The View. Nothing is going to be more satisfying than seeing these liberal ladies take a nosedive and eventually they say, you know what? We can't have that show, or we need to reduce head count, or we only going to take it down to 2 hosts, or we going to replace these women on here or something. Nothing is going to be more glorious. Anyways, let me continue on. I want to read some of these super chats and then we'll go over from there. First of all, let me acknowledge a Cash App. I got to acknowledge this Cash App real quick. Shout out to Yolanda Shah. I appreciate you. Said she should have had her team take care of that hair. Shout out to Yolanda Shah. Chris Cunningham says, oh, you corrected it with Stacey. I got you. No worries. Elizabeth Williams says they were never friends. Her outrage is faker than a $3 bill. Ken J goes on to emphasize that Windows literally ships a zip archiver these days. We don't need WinZip at all. Furthermore, COBOL is costing the government hundreds of millions of dollars. They do not need to upgrade their technologies. Absolutely, they said that Trump is evil. Double R Quake says the fraud is with your husband, Sonny, a.k.a. Rico. Solution Trucking Channel says there is a video of Bill Clinton firing federal workers just like Trump. They'll get over it. They'll figure it out. JD Vance did Doge. If JD Vance did Doge, would it be a big deal? It's going to be the same thing. It will be the same. They're going to complain no matter what. You know that. Marie, what up, Marie? Says, Anna, shut up, kids. We're committing suicide over being bullied for low test scores and learning disabilities. I'm also tired of the 2 white women on The View straddling the fence. Where's Scott Jennings? Send help. You know Scott Jennings ain't going to be on The View. It's all lunch ladies. Civlap says, when we said cut the waste, we expected you to use a scalpel, not an axe. The Witch Doctor says Anton Musk has those contracts because he has proven his technology on a global scale. The transparency is great for Elon's brands. And Doge, absolute emotional stupidity. Courtney Smith says Democrats are freaking out about Doge because Doge is just a rebranded of Obama's USDS, which was created in 2024. Trump is basically using their own system against them and not breaking any laws. Marie says The View, yes, The View hosts belong on a late night prime show with Megan Good. Jesus Christ. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Where are we going next? Oh, AOC. AOC decided to do a rally with federal workers in New York City advocating for them to get their jobs back. Check it out.
Are you all ready for this fight? Yeah. You all ready to lock in? Yeah. We are not giving up this country without a fight. Isn't that right? We will not give up on our people and the institutions and the programs and the services that help people live their lives without a fight. So if they want us to go down, they should know we are not going down without.
Let me make a suggestion to the people that's out there protesting. If you don't have anything better to do, the first thing that you need to do is go and secure another job. For the people that's out there protesting, for the people that's in the cold in New York City, let me tell you something. AOC, her paycheck is going to be there at the end of the week. If you are laid off, you need to immediately be spending your every waking moment, be in a position to be able to feed your family. I know that that's a hard pill to swallow. I know that you'd rather spend your time protesting because you feel like that's what your purpose is. Your purpose is to feed your family. AOC is out there protesting because that's what she get paid to do. That's what her job is. She's just out here just winging it, and she's getting paid and funded by the federal government, by our tax dollars to do so. Y'all got to get y'all money up. Now, if you want to do it after work, you want to go and visit, chances are you're going to be too tired and you're going to want to go home and chill and relax and watch some TV, cut on After Hours or the Millionaire Morning Show or whatever you got to do, then do it after work. But y'all out there in the cold in New York City with signs, good luck with that, big dog.
Now the biggest fight they have ever seen. I want you all to know that we have a plan and that we need one another in this moment. This moment is bigger than any one of us. This moment takes...
By the way, they didn't make those signs. Those was given to them by the Democratic Party, just to let y'all know. So when y'all see people with these big old nice signs and these convenient signs, that was made for them. That wasn't their signs.
All of us. But we will win. We will win. These folks, Elon Musk and whatever group of corrupt people he's got coming in here, looting Social Security, looting our federal programs. We had countless more people that were laid off unjustly this weekend. How many of you know someone that's been affected by this? People need to understand that federal workers do work that is part of the lifeblood of our society. National Park Service workers, National Forest Service workers, everyday working people, sometimes the only vacation they can afford to take their kids on is to our national public lands, to our national public parks and services. And it's those people that folks like Elon Musk are laying off, preventing not just the workers, but millions of Americans who rely on everything from Medicaid to a public park to have any semblance of dignity in our lives. That's what he's stripping away. That's what he's trying to take away. Don't let anyone take the focus off of what is happening right in this present moment. Elon Musk is not going after efficiency. He's not going after making these things better for people. He's trying to steal Medicaid so that he can enrich himself. He is trying to...
Imagine a person that paid $11 billion in taxes in 2021 and you're telling them that they're stealing. Imagine a person that employs tens of thousands of people inside of the United States of America and created a company, a startup from scratch, and actually puts jobs on the market with SpaceX, Neuralink, and especially Tesla. Imagine a person that pours countless hundreds of billions of dollars in tax dollars into their communities and into the communities where they put jobs and put people to work. Imagine a person that has made more people millionaires than AOC could ever dream of, stealing from the federal government. Imagine a person that actually has nothing to lose, can never be elected over in the office, then being able to go and do an efficiency audit to make sure that we are operating efficient inside of the federal government and we're not just giving away all of our tax dollars and giving it overseas in the Ukraine and all of that. Imagine a person that has a bigger vested interest in seeing the United States of America successful than Elon Musk actually stealing from the federal government. Yet we see the waste, fraud, and abuse. And all of these Congress people who just so happen to have this crazy net worth, yet they have no business acumen. They don't know how to put a sentence together half of the time. And we have no clue where they got their wealth from.
He is trying to steal and gut NASA to align his pockets with SpaceX. He is trying to gut everything that is good in America for his own private profit. This is the culmination of what oligarchy is all about and what oligarchy seeks to do. It's the fusion of and the capture by the billionaire class of our democracy.
Imagine a waitress that has risen in the ranks to ultimately become a congressperson or a congresswoman telling you what you should be doing with your tax dollars. A waitress. And it's nothing wrong with waitressing or waiting tables or any of that type of stuff. But imagine being controlled by a person that advocated more for illegal migrants than they did for the people in this country and how it is that you're using your tax dollars. Imagine a waitress rallying you in New York City and you listening to them. This country is just going to hell.
That's what they're trying to do. But it's very important to understand
they don't even know when to boo correctly.
That it is not sustainable. They may seem like they have power right now, but all of this dramatic action is trying to create the sense of inevitability, the sense of power, so that we abdicate in advance. I want everyone who is here and folks who are watching who are not here, especially our federal workers, to listen to me very carefully, because we have very specific instructions in this moment. And I don't say this as a Democrat. I don't say this as a person with any sort of specific political views in this moment. I say this as an American who has sworn an oath to the United States Constitution. And as someone who cares about this Constitution and who cares about this country, we have an obligation to resist kings. We have an obligation to resist oligarchs. We have a sworn duty to this nation to resist oligarchy, including any billionaire that tries to undermine our Constitution.
Hey, remember when the war used to be against millionaires? Remember when the war was against millionaires? The war is not against millionaires anymore. You know why? You know why the war is not against millionaires? Because all of them has become millionaires. They moved the goalposts because they are now a part of the same class of people that they used to war against. Now the war is against billionaires. And they use these terms because they know or they believe that it's so far out of reach and that's something that you can relate to. So you'll never see a Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, or any of these people, or Bernie Sanders ever say, yo, it's a war against millionaires. They're going to say the billionaire class or Trump and his buddies. These people have never started a company. They've never employed anybody. They've never added any value into society. And as a matter of fact, the only credit that they deserve is the credit for keeping us $36 trillion in debt because they're the ones that control the purse strings. And so now that they've all become millionaires, the overwhelming majority of Congress members, now the sentiment is, oh, no. We need to have this war against billionaires, and we're still a part of you guys. We believe what you believe.
America is not for sale. They are only as powerful as we consent to believe them to be powerful. So when we are sitting down and they try to storm these offices and dismiss people, the key here, make them. Make them. Don't agree in advance. Don't go quietly. Don't make it easy. Make them. And there are specific ways that we all can do it. Document it. They want to do something? Put it in an email. And I say this very intentionally.
All of this is about documenting. Jesus.
Because we will work in the streets, in the courts, in public opinion, in our art, everywhere. We can overwhelm them.
Look at these people. Look at all of these people. Let me ask y'all a question, because I said this the other day and y'all said, Anton, I don't know about it. And I'm just talking about cultural norms. How many black people y'all see out there? How many black people do y'all see out there? We don't think like y'all think. We gotta move. We gotta shake, baby. We gotta go and get some money. We gotta go and take care of business. We not about to be out there hanging out with you. Listen, we might complain on TikTok, but we gonna be complaining on our way to a new job interview. We may complain on TikTok, but we gonna be complaining in the car after we just did a job interview. We not about to be out here chilling with you with no bubble coats on in New York City. We got money to get, baby. Things to do. Maybe we'll sit out there while we waiting on a new Uber request or a new and we gonna get 2 phones. Why y'all got 2 phones? Because I got to be running Uber and Lyft at the same time, baby. I'm running Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash all at the same time. Went and got all of them old phones out the drawer. Made sure that we downloaded the app. We gonna be sitting out there kicking it with you. We gonna be slow motion. Got my Uber, got my Lyft. Switch the sign from Lyft to Uber. Go get my DoorDash, and I got a job interview this afternoon. Ain't nobody about to be out there kicking it with you. Ain't nobody about to be out. We got money to get, baby. We're going to be sitting out there like, As soon as your phone start ringing, I'm sorry, I got to go. I got to go make a delivery. It's a big one. This is a big one. It's a big tip right there. I know how y'all do it. Every time you get in the Uber, you take a black truck or something like that. They want to give you the card so that they don't have to pay the fees to Uber. Here you go. Here's my card. Oh, yeah. What's this for? Yeah, if you need me, you need a ride to the airport or you need a ride back or whatever, so on and so forth, just give me a call and, you can just get me direct. And I'll even give you a better deal than what Uber would give you. Okay. I see you, big dog. You hustling? Yeah, I got my own company. Take you to the airport LLC. And yeah. So just let me know, because I appreciate the tip. Thank you. And if you know anybody that need transportation services, I got you. Bitcoin, am I off? Am I off, Bitcoin? What's this card? Yeah. So we do transportation. And, I just make sure that people get to and from safely. And so that's what my job is. That's what I do. If you need a ride to the airport, just call me directly. You can schedule it ahead of time. And, we'll make sure that you're good and that you'll get to your destination safely. Okay. Well, why does this card say plates and dinners? Oh, no. I just gave you that because that's my girl's card. But she got plates and dinners too. So if you decide that you ever want some meatloaf, mashed potatoes, she do it on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, she do it on Facebook. So she lists what she gonna be doing for that week, and you can get your dinners too. So you saying I can get a dinner and I can get an Uber ride to the airport without having to contact Uber too? Yeah. And if you get 2 free rides, you get a free dinner. If you get 2 free rides, my girl hook you up with a dinner too. A word? Yeah. And I deliver it to you on your way to the airport. You can have your dinner in the car. Okay. All right. Well, I got you. See, the reason why y'all laughing is because you know that it's true. The reason that black people hustle different. We got a different mindset when it comes to getting to that money. A different mindset when it comes to hustling in the bag. We gonna complain, but we gonna complain on our way out the door. Can I get that card there in the Tampa area? Let me pull out my notebook. Hold on, Anton. No. Like, dog, why are you giving me a card for plates? Like for selling food. Oh, that's my girl card. All right, big dog. All right, big dog. No. They give you the free dinner with 2 rides. So 2 airport rides back and forth, back to your place. Especially when you get in the black truck, you get a free dinner with that. That's what they do. Not if I misquoted that, don't let me get the hood quotables wrong. With 2 rides, you get a free plate. Yeah, dog, every 2 rides, just hit me up and you just let me know and I'll make sure that my girl got your plate ready. Oh, Jay, you just now figuring that out? DoorDash and Uber at the same time? Boy. Yeah, they combined and they doing it all. But listen, let me tell you something. This is what I believe. Before I read the rest of these super chats, this is what I believe. Everybody moving back to the ghetto. Oh, you wasn't expecting that one? Everybody got to move back to the ghetto. Everybody going back to the ghetto. We going back to the hood. The hood never sounds so good. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, how much, and this is real talk. This is not me just talking junk or whatever. This is real talk. I said, yeah, man, how much are you, what are you looking for? What are you trying to get yourself into? And they say, yeah, man, I was looking at this place and they, it's going to be about $900 a month. $900 a month? That's all you're going to be paying? That sounds like a deal. We're going to get back to reality. Everything is going back to reality. Women is going to get back with their baby daddies. People are going to move back into their parents and humble themselves, and they're going to stop. They're going to leave the streets alone. People are going to go back to the hood. The hood never sounded so good more than it is right now. I know a lot of y'all, like, you still in your haughty phase. I call it the haughty phase. You still in a haughty phase. The haughty phase is my bank account don't match up to my lifestyle, and I'm having a life transformation right now, but I don't really want to go back to the hood until you can reduce those bills. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not against it. This little final thought could seem like I'm criticizing, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you the blueprint to what success is supposed to look like. We thought that success was a mansion and an Escalade and a chain. We thought going out there and moving to the suburbs was the move. The reality was, when you bought that home, because they kept telling you, make sure you buy a home. Remember when everybody was telling you to make sure you buy a home or whatever, and you didn't do your math and your calculations, and you didn't realize that your mortgage was going to go from $3,400 a month to $5,300 a month once they actually started to calculate the new price from that home build that you was about to do. You did that property bill, but the property taxes was only a little bit of money because they didn't really assess the home value and the millages didn't kick in yet, but they didn't tell you that the maintenance and it was going to need a new water heater at this time if you didn't buy a new home or you didn't build a new home, and the property taxes was going to go up because Westmore and the governor and J.B. Pritzker and the people over there in Chicago and all of that. They didn't tell you that part. They was just telling you, the equity in your home was going to go up. The value of your home was going to go up. They didn't tell you that when you paid your mortgage for the first 10 years that you was only going to get $8,000 removed from the principal because the majority of the money was going towards the interest. They didn't tell you that. So then you had to depend on the appreciation of the property to make you feel good about your net worth and the amount of money that you was paying in property taxes, maintenance, and all of that stuff. And so now you like, Jesus be offense. I don't want to be a grown-up no more. I want to be a kid again. I'm seeing people on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on X saying, man, I wish I could be a kid again. JC, that is on a 30-year fixed mortgage. The 30-year fixed loan don't have nothing to do with the interest that you paying. I mean, it has something to do with it, but it has nothing to do with the principal. It's front loaded. So all of the interest is going to go on the front end of the loan. So the first 10 years, and you still got 2/3 of the way to go, you still only got $9,000, $10,000, $11,000 in principal paid down, and you was putting extra towards it because the majority was going towards that. And your mortgage jumping don't necessarily have anything to do with the mortgage itself. It has everything to do with your property taxes going up, and that is baked into your home payment. And it's an escrow shortage, and they're going to charge you back for the money that they had to pay out to the county and the city. And so now you got to pay that. And your property insurance went up because you in a certain area that's prone to mudslides or wildfires or hurricanes, or you lost your insurance and now you got to be on state-sponsored insurance and depend on the federal government just in case anything happened in your house. And so now your insurance rates went up and you thinking about going without insurance, and your utilities went up like over there in Maryland 3 to 4 times, and you wasn't expecting that. You wanted to be grown. You wanted to be grown. You didn't know that life was going to be life and that you can't stop working. Remember when you wanted to be in the streets and you wanted to hustle and you wanted to climb the ladder and you wanted to compete with men? Guess what? You can't stop now. There are no breaks, no layoffs, no breaks, no PTO, no nothing. If you get laid off, you got to hurry up and find another job, and you're going to be working for the next 50 years of your life. But there's a solution. There is a solution. The solution is you're going to have to go back to the thing that made you great in the first place. It's time to go and fix up grandma's house. Grandma's house don't seem that bad no more, do it? Being under your man don't seem that bad no more, do it? Getting back to the core of things don't seem that bad no more, do it? Just cut your grass. I know people that had a paid off car, went and got a car note because they wanted to impress people that didn't add no value into their life, and they hate that car note having to go out every single month. The new car smelled and wore off. Ain't nobody checking for you just because you roll by in your baby Benz and your C230 or whatever the name of them are. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because the real flex was being able to afford it by actually paying off the car, or if you had a business that you could substantiate that you already had another car that was paid off and you're writing off the majority of the lease payments. No, because nobody cared. You bought a new car to make yourself feel good, and 6 months after, now you got your bumper hanging off. And you don't even have insurance. And gas prices is high. Remember that? Remember you traded in because you thought that you came up and you posted it on Facebook and everybody said, yeah, girl, yeah, blessings on blessings on blessings. They can't see you. Let your haters be your elevators. You was cursing yourself. You was cursing yourself. CLA 250, that's what it is. It's still a Benz though. Remember that? It's crazy. It's a method to the madness, though. It's always a method to the madness. It's a lesson in it. Sometimes you got to get out there to see that it ain't always, greener on the other side. And we got to get back to the core of what we do. And the core of what we do is reduce expenses. I'm not only a sponsor, I'm the best client. My bag chasers, my Patreon members, and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Know that I am so frugal when it comes, and I did this live stream when I was in DC and I told y'all, I am so frugal when it comes to me having to spend my own money on anything. If the sponsor is not paying for it, if I'm not getting it for free, if I got to pay out of my own pocket for it, I don't live in no huge house. And the bag chasers know how much money I make. You know what I'm taking in. You know, year after year after year after year, for the last, 2020, since 2010, I've had an increase in my revenue and the amount of money that I'm making every single year since 2010. So for the last 15 years, we've been winning. I spend less than 5% of what I take in on my own personal expenses. If I didn't buy the house outright, or if I didn't build the house outright, if it's not generating revenue, if I'm not building 3 houses for every one that I decide that I want to buy or I want to take in or whatever, I'm not doing it because it's got to be paid for itself. And I'm not about to pay no house notes, man. I'm not paying no mortgage. I'm not financing. I'm not giving nobody no interest, no free money, no none of that. Nothing. When we build the houses, we don't build them to sell them. We build them so that we can rent them out. We keep them forever. I'm giving them the game for free. Well, let me stop. Let me stop because I realize, and this is one of the things that I make sure that I put a barrier to entry for and why you would have to join the Bag Chasers, because we deep dive way deeper than this. Way deeper than this. I can't wait for the next block club. I realize that it's a difference between the people that's here that appreciate it versus the people that just look at it like, oh, I can't believe he talking about this, or I guess we don't get this inside of the comments when we live stream inside of the Bag Chasers because it's a barrier to entry. We're able to lock out the dusty so that we can just get to the money. We start adding value. I show my receipts in order to help you to understand that nobody is finessing you. When people ask me to invest their money, I say, no, I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself. Use your own money. This is how I did it. And so this is one of the reasons why you got to block people out, why you have to put a barrier. Even if the barrier to entry is $1 or $2, you're going to lock out dusty people that don't actually see the value when you telling them to reduce their expenses so that you can live a better lifestyle and actually save and pay cash for the land, pay cash for the house, pay cash for your lifestyle. Don't have a car note. You don't have the same burden, the same pressure, no matter what. Your family is always going to be taken care of. If anything ever happens to you, they don't have to worry about paying that house note. They don't see the value in the lessons and the mindset and the strategy sessions that we have in the mastermind sessions. They don't see the same lessons. So this is one of the, if you notice, for my Bag Chasers that's listening here, for the people that's a part of the Discord, the link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos in the Bag Chasers. You'll see that we don't have this same type of pushback from some of the people because everybody is on the same page going in the same direction. This is why you have to create your own community of people. This is why we do this for free here, and we let the dusties be dusty until they get themselves together. And then we then switch over and pivot, and then we really get into it, and we ain't got to do all of the entertainment, put the medicine inside of the candy. We just get straight to it, and we run it up. Reduce your lifestyle, move back into your parents, get a roommate, adjust before the market forces you to adjust. People are saying, oh man, the real estate market is crashing. What is it going to do? Anton, are you still building houses? Absolutely. That just means I get to do it at a discount now. That means we get to pick up properties. Remember when everybody during the pandemic was overpaying $100,000, $150,000 over asking price with no inspection? Now we got all of these properties in DC, all of these properties in Chicago, all of these properties in Wisconsin, all of these properties in Ohio, all of these properties in LA. Everything is coming on the market at the same time, and nobody can still afford them because the prices are staying the same, but people are going to be losing their houses and the interest rates is not going down. What do you think that is? That is a buying opportunity. We're going to go over it in the next Patreon. Don't worry about it. We just wait. We just patient. We just sit there and just watch. Watch the carnage. Watch the craziness. Watch people tear each other's eyes out. Watch everybody complain. And we just going to silently act like the same people that's been buying it up, the Black Rocks, all of that. We're going to do it on a much smaller scale, and then we're going to scale up. And we just going to keep on doing it. We're going to compound it. We're going to compound all of the wealth, take all of the property, take everything, and we're going to gentrify it ourselves. That's real power. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 years for it to actually hit. It's coming though. Everything is cyclical. Everything is cyclical. Oh man, Anton, what are you saying about the market going down over the last 2-3 weeks? It's an opportunity to buy more. When they think they got you, they don't even realize that they're basically enriching you. If there's a market correction, then that means that it's a buying opportunity. It's not a time for us, the Bag Chasers, who's been hoarding cash for a long time, to look at it as a problem. That's a blessing. Housing prices is going down. Blessing. Market correction. Blessing. Everything is cyclical. What goes up goes down, which means that you then have an opportunity to buy it at a cheaper price, and then he goes up again and it goes down and go. Housing, correction, interest rates, everything is cyclical. Everything goes into a circle. What happened yesterday is going to happen tomorrow, and what happened tomorrow is going to happen 10 years from now. What happened 10 years from now is going to happen 15 years from now, and it's all going to be a cyclical process. We don't look at the market correction or the market reducing itself as an opportunity to fall back. We just go more in. Because we don't have the same restrictions. We don't have the same lifestyle. We don't move under duress. We move in abundance. Anyways, make sure you guys continue to, and we don't just buy the dip, we dollar cost average, but we'll get into that on Block Club and Stock Club inside of the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. iShura says, Anton, let's just play Big Bank, take Lil Bank. Okay. Bet. Give me a second. What's your name? iShura? Anton, let's pay Big Bank, take Lil Bank. Cool. Make sure you cam up so we can see what your numbers are. Let me read the super chats while you go ahead and cam up and get on top of things. I'll read the super chats in a minute. Give me a second. I want to see what these people look like. Ash says, AD, I will tell you the honest to God truth. After 23 years in the Department of Defense, there are a lot of crazy people throughout the federal workforce. About 20% of people do absolutely 80% of the work. About 30% of them are useless. Shout out to Ash. Abe Hunter says, DC Backchasers meet up if the view get cut. Facts. Limitless says, I'm going to give you till, because I see you in the chat, so I'm going to give you till I get done reading super chats. So I'll go a little slower. AOC needs to go back to making Bloody Marys. Facts. I see you. Frank T goes on to say the same individuals who claim the system is rigged against us are the same people protesting. It's dismantling. It's crazy work. Shout out to Frank T. El Castigator says this happens often and city government programs are created. They don't produce the anticipated results, then get cut. It's the nature of the beast. Manifest Love says, still crying about eggs. Trump inherited Joe's inflation. There are inflationary bills right now in Congress awaiting passage unless rhinos hijack it. Rush King 19 says, what does AOC actually do in Congress? Other than yell, cry, and complain. I'm still waiting on you to join on. Yell, cry, and complain. Y'all remember when she went on the border for a crying pick and left after? Marie says AOC needs to go work at Hot Topic. Jesus Christ. That's where she belongs. She has no idea if she is coming or going. Did anybody see Trump's latest SpongeBob post? Yeah, we checked it out. Jay Hunter Lee says any man out here following her must have low T levels. Shout out to Mary Martin. I appreciate you. Marie says they weren't booing, they were mooing like a herd of cows. That's it. Danny Shea goes on to say, oligarchy? Let's talk 1910, the creation of the Federal Reserve. That's an oligarchy. Jay Hunter Lee goes on and says she's one of the same people advocating for illegals over citizens. Night J says America isn't for sale, sells off wall and U.S. ports. My dog Ash goes on to say, AD, another fact about federal workers after retiring from the Department of Defense and starting civilian work as a truck driver, every time the federal workers had a day off, I told wifey those additional days off are over. Sorry, honey, I feel you. Shout out to my dog Ash. I appreciate you. I don't see nobody in the back yet. Give me a second. I don't see anybody yet because you called me out and I dropped the link for you. I'd be hustle man from Martin. That's a fact. That's why paying off your house is a must. Big facts on that mansion though. Hold on one second. Hello.
Hey, Anton. I've been trying to get in contact with you for a little bit.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
Isaiah Smith from J. Raymond Automotive.
Oh, because I was looking at the Ram TRX.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I bought one already.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of you to like catch up with it, but I couldn't get through to you. So.
All right, I got some other stuff that I'm listening. I got some other stuff that I'm chasing. I'm gonna give you a call in a minute.
Okay.
All right. The interview link is still open for if you want to play Big Bang Take Lil Bang. Let me see. Abe the Hunter says big facts on that mansion, though. I'm going back to the woods. Dome Homes live. Abe the Hunter says life not broke, just realizing it's not needed. That's a fact. I like that. Chris Cunningham says Anton chill. They not like us, bro. They'll get it one day. No. Sometimes you got to call people on their bluff. Jamal Fowler. Shout out to Jamal Fowler. All right, since I don't see anybody in the back, I'm going to assume. Oh, chill. You working at Amazon. Okay. All right, well, watch your mouth then. Watch your mouth. Because, see, this is why you got to be careful. This is why you got to be careful, because sometimes you might run into a buzzsaw. See, I'm willing to show my receipts. I'm willing to show my brokerage account. I'm willing to show my deposits. I'm willing to show my spending summary. I'm willing to show whatever it is that y'all want to do. Y'all better be careful. Be careful. Be careful. And it ain't nothing wrong with having a regular job. Ain't nothing wrong with going to get it. But I'm the king of the bag chasers. Let's be clear. Nothing wrong with working a regular job, but let's just make sure that we know where we at, where the hierarchy of things are, and how things are supposed to go. All right? Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. Take the game. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. After hours is tonight. All right? I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.